Hey, good afternoon, people of Boulder City. I decided to make another video today. It's Sunday, March 29th. There's a lot of stuff that's already being shoveled around for the election, so I figured I'd try and get ahead of it so we can see what most people are interested in, what we should talk about. My last video, towards the end, there's an Easter egg in there for you. The first 5 people to show up at the taco truck got a free meal on Friday. And that was a test to see just how long people watch videos, which wasn't very long. So I'm going to put it at the front. On Monday, tomorrow, the 30th, March 30th, there's 5 free meals at the taco truck. Rolando calls it the number 3. You get a choice of 3 tacos, rice and beans. First 5 people there, got to tell them 2 things. A, I love you, Taco Man. Has to say it to Rolando. And if you're a man, you have to say it in the sweetest voice you can say it in. And 2, I saw this on YouTube. You say those 2 things, you got a free meal waiting for you at the taco truck. All right, so today I wanted to talk about the data center. Everybody's talking about data centers. So I just want to touch on the basics so we can get this video done as fast as possible and not lose as many people. And then if we want to dive into it deeper, we can do that. But this is firsthand opposition politics. It's what's current right now. There's that group in town that, if you watched my last video, they used to be called the Cave People. They're the association for a while. They're whoever's running it. Get together. Very liberal-minded people. I won't say they're all liberals, but liberal-minded. But what they do is they try and make something seem horrific, or that it's going to happen and that it's going to destroy your life. And if you don't change the council members that are in there right now, then the whole world's going to. And if you buy into that, you get on board, you start looking for their information, and that's how they bring people into their party and get support for their candidates. But you didn't hear anything about this before this last couple weekends, and that's because it took a little while for them to pick their targets. Obviously, they picked the data centers and the golf course. These are the 2 things that they picked right away. We'll address both of them, but today is the data centers. So let's talk about data centers. They're popular everywhere right now. Everybody in the world is looking for compute power. They're looking to buy it any way that they can. The data centers are popular because they're needed, especially for AI. I mean, they're running out of this compute everywhere that they look, and so they're looking for more and more of these data centers. What is a data center? Data center is a big warehouse, holds a bunch of computers, uses a ton of power, which creates heat. It needs to be cooled. But I can't think of another building in southern Nevada or any desert that doesn't do the exact same thing. Creates a bunch of heat, whether it's from video game machines or just people that are warehouses. They all do the same thing. They all have the same air conditioning. They're looking for the highest technology that they come up with uses water to cool the servers and what they need. So big user of power, big user of water. What do we have to offer? We have the land for them to buy. We don't have the power. I would like to see this, if it's going to be put forward, that it needs to supply its own power somehow. We have solar panels. If solar panels ain't going to work, then they got to come up with another way of supplying their own power. If they supply their own power, I don't see the problem with it. We have water. We have the effluent that runs out of our treatment facility. If somebody wants to buy our effluent from us, then great. The problem becomes, and this is the real problem with the data centers, if there is one, is that they're deep pockets. And so when it comes to utilities, they are going to be the highest bidder in whatever. So if they're on the market for buying power, then they're going to outbid us. They're going to raise the price of our power. That's just how the economy works. Same thing works with water. You know, if they're searching around for water and they can find a place to buy it cheaper, you know, they if it's cheaper for them, you know, who knows, maybe maintenance wise, to buy a water from Southern Nevada Water Authority, then the entire valley, meaning Henderson and Vegas, is going to compete with them. Southern Nevada Water Authority does not set our price for water necessarily. They, you know, they treat our water, but we're our own utility. We have plenty of water. We don't even use the water that we have. But water's not an issue here because we have all that effluent, and as long as they're good with using the effluent, that's fine. But those are the things that I would like to see in the contract, is that somehow hold them to supplying their own power, building their own power, whatever it is, their own supply of power, and only being able to use our effluent. If we can get that into a contract, then what, you know, the council's saying is true. That's the highest, best use of that land. That's going to get us the highest lease amounts. That's what's going to benefit the city the most. That's what they're doing. They're trying to get the most value out of that land out there. And the highest value is data centers right now. So for them to be asking the question is not a negative thing. It's not a bad thing. It's what the city should be demanding of them, to find what's the best value for that land out there, what's the best use for it. And until they answer the question of what's this going to look like, I think it is an option. Like I said, who knows? Are they willing to build their own power station? Are they willing to sign a 30-year lease to buy all of our effluent? Then great, I'm all for it. All the other things that I've heard said are not an issue. But anyway, I'm going to keep this short. So if you guys have any other questions or have anything else to say, put your comments down below. If this starts to get a bunch of comments, then I'll make a follow-up video to it.